Everyone has their favourite Grand Theft Auto game, and what I've seen from my comment section over the past few months, it really varies. But before we get into today's video, throughout December, I'm giving you the chance to win a PlayStation 5. All you've got to do is comment on one of my videos this month and subscribe to the channel. So first off, I want to give Jack Sather credit for this video. His video is linked down below, as I thought the topic was a really cool take on how everyone's perfect GTA is slightly different. In this video, I want to talk about which Grand Theft Auto games I grew up with and what I hope we get from GTA 6. So growing up, my first Grand Theft Auto was Vice City. I was 7 years old when I first played it, a year after it came out. Yep, I was 7. This was at a time where there were a lot of activists against Grand Theft Auto, so convincing my mum to let me have this just wasn't going to work. Luckily, my dad was quite open-minded and actually bought it for me. The thing is, playing this game, I wasn't interested in the gore, the chainsaws, etc. I was 7 years old. I was just interested in driving around, earning money, buying properties, and exploring a big open world map. And this was one of the first games to give us a true open world experience, but also, it was vibrant, colourful, endearing. 80s Miami looked incredible. My next Grand Theft Auto was actually Liberty City, which I bought after playing Vice City for a year to see what the previous GTA was actually like, and it obviously was a downgrade from Vice City. The story was a bit bland, the whole city, the colour spectrum of the city was just dark and dingy and boring, and I didn't feel like the player got much out of playing it. But then again, coming from Vice City, it is vastly different. Fun fact, Vice City was actually supposed to be a map expansion for Liberty City and a second release on a disc, but it actually ended up becoming its own game. That's why in like 2002, 2003, you were able to buy them as multi-packs, GTA 3 and Vice City together. Next was San Andreas when I was 9 years old. I never completed San Andreas and I didn't even play it that much. I had a few friends that had San Andreas, and I know for you watching this is a pretty hot take, but I didn't enjoy playing it. I found it boring. Now 2 years ago I went to go and replay GTA San Andreas, and once again I got bored. The game didn't do anything for me. I'm willing to try it again, but I just didn't engage with the storyline like I did in Vice City. Next was Grand Theft Auto 4 when I was 10 years old. This game became an addiction for me. The story, the map, the online modes, it was all incredible. GTA 4 was Rockstar showing their progress with the Rockstar Advanced Game Engine, often referred to as Rage. The car physics were far more realistic, the gun sounds and physics were incredible, and the ragdoll physics made hand-to-hand combat a lot more fun and engaging, and arguably a lot better than they were even in GTA 5. The next Grand Theft Auto, GTA 5, wouldn't come out until I was 16 years old. I was in my last year of school, and when the game came out, I spent every night playing the game non-stop on PS3. This was actually back in the time when you could get the app on your phone and you could customize your number plate, play a mini game with Chop, and it was just a great time to be alive. At the time I got that app on the iPhone 5. Me and my friends would barely get any sleep playing this game, and even when I went off to college, and for my American friends, college in the UK isn't the same as university, but even when I went to college, I played the game every single night. And when I got a PS4, I bought GTA 5 again, because the upscale textures and it just looks incredible. But a couple of years later, I actually stopped playing the game completely. Now the reason I stopped playing is primarily down to the fact that GTA Online became awful, and I still kind of think it is to this day. Firstly, there was a lot of modders spawning money onto people, which in the first couple of weeks of this being an issue, Rockstar banned a lot of accounts that received the money rather than the ones spamming it. Rockstar fixed this quickly, and now it's very unlikely, if not impossible, you to get banned for this. But after having my account banned and having to wait 30 days to get a response from Rockstar to sort it, I kind of lost my love for it. I started playing other games or eventually stopped playing the console altogether. When I eventually came back to the game, there was flying bikes and it was impossible to actually have fun in the game. It wasn't a fair playing field. Unless you were doing an ungodly amount of missions or you bought shark cards or you went into passive mode, you didn't stand a chance unless you were in your own lobby. But by that point, there was no reason for any of my friends to play it either, so I'd be in an empty lobby by myself. So this brings me on to GTA 6, and what do we actually want to see from the game? So the first thing is Miami. Vice City was the first time I experienced GTA, and it's magical to me. So going back there for GTA 6 is incredible, and that nostalgia will not be lost on me. I am so excited just going to explore the city that I first fell in love with when I was 7 years old. Next, I want Rockstar to get rid of the flying cars and flying motorbikes, or at least have the option to have lobbies with zero futuristic nonsense. The flying cars and flying motorbikes and stuff, they ruin the game. Part of the charm of Grand Theft Auto is that it is a slight tongue-in-cheek twist on reality, making it some future futuristic game just isn't what I play it for. Now, of course, I understand there's a lot of people that love the flying cars and the flying bikes and all of that stuff. Great, enjoy the game, but I think for a lot of people of my generation of player, we don't like it. Now, the next thing on my wish list, it'd be really cool to have the roleplay lobbies actually built into the console game experience. Now, I think there is actually a small chance of this happening. Rockstar bought 5M back in August of this year, and of course at the moment it's just a PC thing, but maybe that could be extended out to the consoles in the future. Next, I would love the online missions to be a bit more realistic. I don't want my random online character being in charge of saving America. It's gone a little bit too much like the Fast and Furious movies where you end up in space and stuff. And once again, that's getting into a category of gameplay that no one asked for. Talking about our online character, at the moment, they don't do anything, they don't say anything, and the character customization is absolutely rubbish. To be able to properly customize our characters is something that shouldn't be a big ask, and I'm fairly confident that they'll give us the opportunity to actually properly customize our characters. Next is more interiors. We had a leak just before the trailer dropped of someone saying that 70% of the interiors would be explorable, but that was just a teenager, and we have no idea. GTA 5 barely had any explorable interiors, and there was nothing to do other than the missions and maybe drive around for a bit. Next is mini games and side quests. Let's make hunting, fishing and other activities feel more part of the world like in Red Dead Redemption 2. We know that Rockstar have the technology to do it, so how they implement that to GTA 6 will be really cool and interesting to learn. Next on the list will be more intricate car customization. Doing the same mods to cars gets so boring after a while. From the leaks we had in 2020, we can see that stuff like sun visors, mirrors, seat position, steering wheel position, all of that stuff will all be customizable. So that gives me a lot of hope that they're putting a lot more attention into the interior of the vehicles and the customization. Next would be more nightlife and activities to do in the city. Miami is a party town. Let us go to car meets, bars, clubs, etc. and utilize the world for more than just heists. With all the time and effort that's gone into creating this world, let us do stuff within it. We don't just want to drive around in boats and cars. We actually want to drive around with purpose and to do stuff, maybe joining a lobby online with our friends and having a little fun fishing session with them. And finally, give us an evolving world that changes as time passes. Buildings that get finished and DLC to allow us to go to places like Cuba, or even later down the line, retextured versions of Los Santos and Liberty City, or whole new areas that we can explore. Also, on the community tab on my page, I asked everyone what questions they had about GTA 6, so I'm just going to go through a couple of them now and give my thoughts. So the first one's from Nathan. What do you think we should be able to do in the interior of buildings and houses, etc.? Really good question. I think in the interiors of buildings, it would be nice to actually customize it a little bit, even if it's like preset layouts, like 5 sets of kitchens to choose from, 5 sets of living rooms, but being able to change it and customize it a little bit more in depth than we could in Grand Theft Auto 5, that would be really cool, especially as we know that the capability to do so already exists. I know it's a different game, but if you look at games like Sims, like going into a creator mode and being able to like develop that space a little bit more, it also means as well, like within the game, you can have your friends come over and you can like look at each other's builds and houses and stuff like that. I think that would be a really cool dynamic to have in the game. Next question we have is, from the trailer, it kind of looks like we're going to get a sort of blend between Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA. So if it is, would you be the calm fisherman enjoying a gorgeous sunrise, or a twisted degenerate reveling in the destruction of the world around you? I honestly feel like it would change every 10 minutes. When the game comes out, of course I'm going to be posting full playthroughs and loads of videos on it. Of course I am. I think there'll be a lot of things that I do within the game where it's just fishing, chilling, relaxing, just doing a lot of nothing. But at the same time, I feel like going on absolute mental rampages, especially in Vice City, which is a vibrant, chaotic town with lots of NPCs and lots of people and stuff like that. That whole dynamic element will make that so much more fun. If Jason Schreier was right, what cities do you think a GTA 6 expansion could be set in? So yeah, really good question. When Grand Theft Auto 6 was in development, it was known as Project Americas, which gave us the impression that it would have a lot more than just Miami, and this kind of leads into the fact that we may get the Bahamas, or maybe some more areas that are linked to Southern America a bit more. I honestly feel like an expansion we would get is probably like Cuba, Bahamas, or something like that. But I also, no, this is just me personally, and I don't think Rockstar will ever do this, but it would be really cool to have like, do you know I was saying I don't like futuristic stuff, but if they had like a time travel thing where you could travel back to Vice City in the 80s and it was like a completely retextured different take on Miami in the 80s, that would be cool. That's the only time I think that futuristic tech should come into GTA 6 when it comes to like traveling between different eras, because seeing Rockstar now in their prime doing a retake on Vice City and 80s Miami in that time period would be absolutely phenomenal. Next question is, will the graphics be as good as Spider-Man series, Into the Matrix, etc.? Honestly, I don't know. I feel like part of me wants to say yes, like this will probably be one of the most graphically advanced games ever made, but at the same time, this map is going to be huge and there's going to be more interiors and there are going to be a lot of technical limitations, and at the end of the day, this game isn't being made to run on someone's RTX 4090. This has been made to run on general consoles that are sold to the mass public. The fact that it's a bigger game, a more complex construction, I think that we will see some sacrifices. We might see some graphic sacrifices or frame rate sacrifices to be able to have somewhat decent graphics and an absolutely huge map. Really good question, and I'm not 1000% sure. Is Jason an undercover cop? And this also ties into this question. This is just a theory that I saw in the Game Theorist channel, but what do you think about the story of GTA 6 being about Jason being an undercover cop trying to get Lucia in prison? I did a whole video about this. You can click the pop-up banner to see that now. But yeah, I did a full video about this, so if you want to go and check that out, I kind of answered that a bit more in that video. The next question was, do you prefer the skinny redneck Jason we saw from the leaks more than his current incarnation? No, I 100% prefer the current version of Jason we've seen from the trailer, because I feel like his character is far more in depth. His character did nothing in that trailer but pose questions, and the fact that it's posed questions and we're here all talking about it means that Rockstar have done an excellent job. I think I prefer the one that we've seen in the trailer, because the one we've seen in the trailer is detailed. We can see who he is a bit better. We still haven't seen the front of his face head on, which is a very intentional thing that Rockstar did. But yeah, that pretty much answers that question. Next question is, will GTA 6 be woke? I actually did a whole video about this, and I do think there will be elements that will be a lot more woke, because it has to be. At the end of the day, Rockstar Games is controlled by its shareholders. The shareholders bow to the pressure of retail stores, because the majority of the sales of the game will be on the shelves in retail, not just necessarily online purchases. If they do something too edgy and a retail store refuses to sell the product, that will cause problems with Take-Two Interactive, which would cause problems with investors. It's a bit of a tricky one. The Rockstar games that we see now, which is pretty much at the mercy of Take-Two Interactive, is a whole different thing to what we saw in the early 2000s. In the early 2000s, Take-Two were still a part of Rockstar, but they weren't the big, massive business they are today with the same level of pressure from investors. I think the jokes that will be told in GTA 6 will be edgy, but on the line. I think they're going to have to skirt around the fine line of annoying too many people and investors and stuff like that, and retail stores, and yeah, it's going to be a tricky one. The truth is, we don't know, but I don't think it will be as edgy as previous Grand Theft Autos, but on my days I hope they prove me wrong. So guys, thank you all for watching today's video. Please let me know in the comments down below which was your favourite Grand Theft Auto and why, and what things you'd like to see in GTA 6. One more thing I want to say before I go, this PlayStation 5 giveaway, I am choosing a winner at random. Basically, on the back end of YouTube, I'm going to see how many comments I've had since that first video went live announcing the giveaway. Then I'm going to go to Google to a random number generator, select a random number and scroll down the comments counting down that number, and whichever one it lands on wins a PlayStation 5. I've had a lot of people try and message me on Discord, get in touch via email, and obviously in the comment section saying that they want to win the PS5 because they can't afford one, or whatever their circumstance might be. To keep this fair and to make sure no one has a higher likelihood of getting the PS5, it's going to be done on a random number generator. Thank you all for watching today's video, and I'll see you all in the next one.